There was a quote I read once about a French filmmaker who they asked, why does he make heist films? And he said, I don't have the balls to rob a bank, so I'd rather just make a film about it.
I wanted to write a story where there were no bad guys. It's about people making bad choices under difficult situations and the consequences that result from those. While I was out walking my dog, I saw an armored car go around the corner, and I noticed that everybody around me, their eyes were tracking the car. And I realized immediately that this was a set piece, a setting, some sort of a visual cue that everybody was interested in and going to be drawn to, and I knew I had to take that story I wanted to write and marry it to the armored car setting.
It's definitely not your typical glamorous heist film. It's a down and dirty film.
Holy shit. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit!
A good friend of mine who's a training officer with the police department hooked me up with some guys who work in the armored car service. While I was doing my research, they were very concerned that I was actually planning a heist because I wanted all this detailed inside information.
We met actually with one of the bigger armored car companies when we were in pre-production, and they showed us and led us into their world quite a bit. They got robbed later that week, so unfortunately all public relations were cut off after that.
My manager, Dan Farah, brought the script out. Fortunately, we connected with Josh Donnan and Clint Culpepper, who really got the script and really understood the story we were trying to tell with it.
Promise me nobody gets hurt. Nobody gets hurt.
Cochrane's plan is elegantly simple, which the best plans always are. Unfortunately, the plan unravels. Unforeseen consequences send them on this path which pit guard against guard, friend against friend, mentor against student.
When cops arrive, we tell them that Ty died saving our lives. All you had to do is open the door.
Clint Culpepper had approached me after we finished Vacancy, and he had a few scripts, and one of them was armored. And I've always been attracted to subcultures, be that ticket inspectors or armored car drivers. So that was what initially had attracted me to the project.
We bonded immediately. I love Nimrod's vision. I love his energy. I love his eye, the way he composes his shot.
Yeah, let's just get maybe a steel plate on the ground. I grew up seeing some great heist films, and I had a great time. I was surrounded by a lot of really talented people. When I was looking for a DP a few films ago, I wanted to work with someone who I had respected and I looked up to, and Andrei Sakula was there. I have a pretty strong visual sense, but I also invite and encourage as much input as possible, and Andrei is the ultimate collaborator. His visual style is very sparse and very clean and stunning. The lighting in the film and the stock and everything that he uses is ballsy, and it definitely goes against the grain, and he's just a fun guy. Armin Manassian, our editor, who I'd also worked with on Vacancy, is able to take the mess that I bring him and kind of construct something that resembles a film. So he's someone that's also very close to me, and I hope to work with him again. And then once you guys get there, we have to figure it out as far as what the blocking and movement will be from that point on. But for this particular shot, it's just moving towards the blast. Through your performances, you can achieve a dynamic, but through cameras and composition, you could also complement that.
Cut! Beautiful! Very good.
You got guys who are like veteran actors like Jean Reno and Lawrence Fishburne and Matt Dillon, and then young guys like Columbus Short and Milo Ventimiglia and Skeet Ulrich and Amerino Lesko. They all just act like good friends, and they all respect each other, and it's a great dynamic.
All right, that was great, guys. Very good. Thank you.
It was just a pleasure to work with them, and it was such a great experience. Meeting your heroes and seeing how nice they are and how humble they are, that was really a refreshing experience for me, so that was cool.
That's a credit to both Nimrod and the head of Screen Gems, Clint Culpepper's casting calls, and just gut feelings on a lot of these guys and how they would come together. It's a pretty awesome cast.
It's really a question about hitting beats. What I recommend we do maybe is do like a 25% slow just to get the camera boom, 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 boom. Let's just get all those beats worked out.
You establish a tight-knit relationship between these men.
Let's take a moment to lift up our glasses to Ty. To Ty Jr.
Ty.
Starting tomorrow, you're a full-fledged guard with Eagle Shield security.
And then as the machine starts to fall apart, and the trouble ensues, you start to see how each person handles that. And that was part of the fun, getting those performances and finding those moments.
You just killed that man. He was gonna die before you got into a hospital.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do.
You don't know that.
Nobody's really seen the life of these armored truck drivers. And then Nimrod was attached. And then I was just like, I gotta do this movie. I gotta do this movie. And I fought, you know, to get the movie.
All right, guys, here we go, and action.
He was a true gift because we needed someone who was young but had presence and could carry himself, and Columbus embodied that. But then on top of that, he's also very talented.
I'm doing my own stunts. You know, you do your own makeup. I even do my own blood.
Ty's an ex-Marine, so he was actually a Marine in battle, has had fights, he was injured. Once the train starts going off the tracks, he kind of snaps into war mode. Once you see blood again, once you hear a gunshot again, you're back there.
And action!
There's an honorable code. And so when he sees innocent people being hurt, he snaps into his, I gotta stop this, I have to make a difference, you know? He's constantly in that moral dilemma until he decides to do something about it.
Come on, Ty. Open up. Gotta figure this thing out.
He brought an energy to the set every day, and his passion for the film was solid. And I'm very grateful that the film gods brought me Columbus Short.
We're not gonna let the bank take your house.
I got that under
Hey,
control.
don't bullshit me, Ty. Don't worry about it. We're gonna think of something. I've always been sort of fascinated by how serious these guys are that, you know, drive armored cars and make these money transfers. But I think what I like most about this character is the sort of transformation he goes through. Cochran's a guy with a real dark side to him. He's not a professional criminal, but he has aspirations, he has dreams, and he wants to take a shortcut.
If you burn the truck, you burn the money.
He's able to bring the cool, but he's able to bring the funny. He's able to bring the tough. And it's a very rare quality in an actor who can cover all bases.
The film is very challenged because so much of it takes place in one location. And then you have one of your protagonists who's actually then confined in one of the armored cars. And Nimrod opened the whole thing up. There's a kind of unrelenting kind of energy to this story.
Check this baby out. What do you think of that?
Looks like you're overcompensating.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about?
What are you talking about?
You know what they say, bigger the gun, smaller the pistol.
He's not quite right. The thing I like about this character is like he does a good job at pretending to be normal, but he's really abnormal. I wish they would try something.
He was just such an influence on me and such a big part of my film fan career that it was really intimidating meeting him initially, but one of the most incredible actors I've ever worked with and one of the nicest guys I've ever worked with. And he did something that was really spectacular in this film. The simple act of just taking a box out of a truck and putting it on a loading dock was the coolest thing ever. And I think that, you know, someone who can take something so simple and make a moment out of it is a rarity. So I'm honored to have worked with him.
It's kind of like it's a fun movie, but everybody that's in the movie has this ability to go to these deeper places and so kind of make it feel like it's a little deeper than it is. But, you know, it's kind of a fun, kind of like cops and robbers movie.
Be cool, Dobbs. We stick to the plan. We're okay.
Stick to the plan? Was shooting that guy part of the plan, babe?
Stop wanting.
Was it?